Google Drive. Vroom, vroom, vroom. We are off to the drive. Hello and welcome to class. In this lesson, we will learn what is Google Drive and how to use it. I hope you have 2 or more fully charged devices as you were instructed by the last email sent to you, and you will be needing a notepad and a writing utensil for this class. If there's anything you need before we begin, please let me know. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, we will go ahead and begin. All right. First, I want you to think about what you already know about Google Drive. Write down everything you can remember on your notepad. You will have 2 minutes for this activity, so go ahead and start writing what you know. Okay, now that you've written down what you know about Google Drive, I want you to list 3 things you hope to learn from this class. Now that you have time to think about your prior knowledge, please share one of the things from the list with the class that you've written down, and that can either be what you already know or what you wish to learn. So take a minute, turn and talk to someone about what you wish to learn or what you already know. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and continue. Now that you've discussed a little about Google Drive, I see where we are. I know we have different levels of proficiency with Google Drive. However, at the end of our lesson today, you will all have full understanding of what Google Drive is and how it is used. You will be able to differentiate it from other cloud-based storage devices and actually get to explore and create with it. I know that you have many questions based on the conversations I've overheard, but I will answer them by the end of the day. And if you discover it, or if you discover something while you're exploring and creating, okay? So those are pretty much the objectives. Is there anything else you would like for me to add or delete from this? All right. What I'm going to do, here I'm showing you a copy of my Google Drive. I have copied 9 different documents. Could you tell what elements of the Google Suite were used to create them? Just look at the left-hand column and you'll see red, yellow, green, blue, and a white copy. Can you tell what they have, why they have the endings they do? For example, one have a RFT ending, another is a PPTX, another is XLS and PDF. What are these documents telling you about Google Drive? Take a minute or 2 to discuss among yourselves what this is telling you. All right, we're going to move on to the next order of business. So, we're going to look at Google Drive. Think about the information that's going to be presented in this video. How does it relate to your prior knowledge of Google Drive? Okay?
Welcome to your Google Drive. I think the best way to understand Google Drive is to actually just start using it. If you have a Gmail account, just click on Drive in the top left. You can start a free Google account and access Google Drive, or you can access it with your business or organization's Google Apps account. I encourage you to start syncing some files, creating some files, sharing some files, have that experience, and then you'll best understand how you can use Drive and what makes sense for you. Of course, you can also use the videos in this course to help you along the way. Right now, I just want to talk about some of the features of Google Drive and Docs. So Google Drive, the motto is store anything, share anything. So it's all about storing your online files, syncing your online files to your devices, and sharing them. So with Google Drive, you can access your files anywhere. You just open up the Google Drive application on any web browser. You can also sync your files to a Mac, PC, or mobile device. It's all about sharing with Google Drive. So you've got your files online, but you can also share those files or a folder of files. And you have different sharing settings. You can make people just viewers or editors of those files. You start with 5 gigabytes of storage. That's included. And that's a lot of storage space. You can buy additional storage for about $4 a month for 20 gigabytes. Google Drive also allows you to view over 30 different types of files right in your browser. So you can view things like videos, Adobe files, images. You don't need any special software to do this. You don't even need Photoshop to use the Photoshop viewer within Google Drive. Google Drive has the Google search built right in. That's a really powerful tool for quickly finding your docs. And when you've got 5 gigabytes of docs, you're really going to want to rely on search for finding those docs. If you want to know more about the Google Drive security, I encourage you to just do a Google search for Google Drive security or come to this webpage, google.com/enterprise/app/business/benefits.html/security. Probably easier just to do a Google search for Google Drive security, and you've got some features of the Google Drive security right here.
Okay, I'm going to take a minute just to go over something with you. I know you're watching the video, and I'm not sure if I had reiterated the fact that I wanted you to take notes on this, so please make sure at the end of the video you have at least 5 notes taken down. How does this information relate to what you already know? And also just look for anything new that you did not know about Google Drive as we continue to watch the video.
I'm not a security expert, but I will share with you the features that I really like and that I find secure is that my work is always backed up. So any changes you make are backed up to the Google servers. You don't have to worry about deleting something accidentally on your computer or having your hard drive crash and losing data. I also like that I own and control my data. So even though it's in the Google Drive cloud, I can download it at any time, and there are tools that allow you to take all of your data out of Google Drive and onto your computer or a disk. So you own and control your data. So you can add individual editors or viewers, or you can create a link that's just shared within your organization or a group of users. And Google Docs is all about working together. You can have multiple editors and viewers within a doc at the same time making changes. This is an example of a document, and you can see that there are 5 different editors within the document at the same time. No more sending docs back and forth as attachments. Just one doc. It's all online in my drive. As far as work, you can create rich text documents with images and tables and headers and footers. You can create spreadsheets or import an Excel spreadsheet. You've got all of your formulas and functions there, and Google's always adding new features. They just added pivot tables within the last 12 months.
Okay, now that you've watched a segment of that video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some creation and we're going to explore. So now, what do you see in your drive that is similar to the video or my example? So take a minute, open up your device. I would prefer for you to use your computers to start with and look at what's similar, what's different based on what you've just seen, okay? We're going to take about a minute or two to do that. Now that you're all signed in, I'd like for you to go ahead and create a document in Google Drive. It doesn't matter which document you create, that's totally up to you. And once you're finished creating that document, I'd like for you to share it with your classmates. I know you all have email addresses and contact information, so just go ahead and share your document back and forth. This may take a few minutes, so go ahead and share. Now that you've shared your information, I want for you to look and see what you have. Since you have been on your laptops all morning, I want to ensure that your work is saved in Google Drive. So just look and see if what you've created is already saved or if there's anything else you need to do. And that's something we can discuss because remember the video talked about automatic saving. So just make sure they were correct in saving your work automatically. We're going to take a short break. And once we return from the break, we will continue to use Google Drive using either your smartphones or your tablets. And please get it ready while we're on break. You may also use google.com to search any unanswered questions you have based on our morning. Also see me. Ensure that your Google Drive is downloaded on your smartphone or your tablet if it's not already there. If not, please do so now. Any questions, comments? All right, since you're all ready to go, we're going to continue. And here we're going to explore with Google in the cloud. Accessing your document from wherever and whenever. With this, we're going to be collaborating across distances. We're able to monitor time on task and group participation. And what does all this mean to you? If you are in China, any country, anywhere in the United States, and you have access to the internet or your computer, you can always access your information. That's what it means, accessing your document from wherever. You don't have to have a thumb drive or anything, because once you log on to your Google account, you can access that document. It's saved in the cloud. It's there. It's associated with your account. Collaborate across distances. As you've been working with the Google Slides, the Google Docs, you realize that you could be at your house and you're sending information to your group members or your classmates and you're working on this. The same concept applies internationally. You could be here in the United States working and you have a counterpart somewhere in China or Bangladesh, India, wherever in the world, and they could be working on that same document at the same time. As educators, you know, sometimes your students may be turning in assignments and they're telling you, oh, we worked on it collaboratively. You can see which student is working on what assignment, what parts of the assignment. It's also timestamped where you can see when the actual assignment was worked on or when it was turned in. Okay, so you're monitoring who's doing what when, and also the turning in of assignments. So just think about that for a minute, and if you have questions, I'm always ready to answer for you. What does cloud-based means? Cloud-based means it's actually in cyberspace, it's backed up, and the good thing with the cloud, everything that you do on Google will be backed up. It's not as if you're going to be losing any information anymore. So that's what cloud-based or cloud-based computing is. It's saved for you automatically in a storage device that's not like a hard or external drive. Okay, so we're going to compare Google Drive, because I heard earlier what's the difference between Google Drive and other storage devices. So let's take a look at some of the major differences or similarities. What are the pros and cons of using Google, you see when using Google Drive? Okay. Discuss at your table the 2 questions that are projected. Select a scribe to type or present for your group using one of the Google Suites you've already learned about. So here we go, more Google. Be sure to save your work for a later assignment, all right? Because as we continue, we're going to be doing something else with that assignment. Okay, now that you've discussed, what are other products you can think of that performs a similar task as Google Docs? I hear someone said Microsoft Word. Correct. Notepad, that is correct as well. That does the same thing as Microsoft Word. What are some of the pros and cons you see when using Google Drive? The pros is that it's cloud-based storage. Good. What would it be compared to? Could be compared to a hard drive. Those are some very good answers. All right, we're going to move on. Now that you know, what will you do with your students or in your profession as it relates to using Google Drive and all the different Google Suites? I want you to stop and jot down 1 or 2 things you plan to implement in your classroom with your students and one you will implement for yourself as an instructor. So now, what are you going to do with your students? And how are you going to be using that in your professional life or maybe your personal life? Would anyone like to share? Okay, with students you can collaborate. That's very good. And in your profession, you could use it for grade books, storing information, maybe pictures of students, or backing up your lesson plans for years and years instead of having to recreate the wheel. Maybe you could just tweak it as you go along. Great ideas. All right. So let's continue. And here are your examples. Great. Okay, we're going to put it all together. Just make sure we know what we've learned, and let's see what else we would like to add to our task on Google Drive, pretty much. Gentlemen, let's take a minute to reflect on all that you've learned about Google Drive so far. I want you to go back to your initial list that you wrote this morning in regards to what you already knew or what you wanted to learn. So it's more like your KWL chart from this morning. Just take a minute and look back at it. Please go ahead and update this list. And this is all personal, but if you wish to whisper with a neighbor after both of you have reflected and written down your information, please feel free to do so, as long as it's about Google Drive. All right, let's go ahead and do some review. So we know that Google Drive is a cloud-based storage. It houses all of the Google suites. Documents are saved automatically, and you do not have to save your work. You can share documents and set the amount of collaboration allowed on the document. Multiple users can be working on the document at a time, and this is similar to using a computer storage device, an external hard drive, or SharePoint. Only difference, it is a cloud-based storage which you can access virtually anywhere you have computer or internet access. And now it's time for a quiz. What is Google Drive? Is it a new computer program that Google created? Is it the email that Google uses? Or is it a cloud-based storage device that houses all Google suites? Or is it both A and C? What do you think the correct answer is? You are correct. It is C. Great job. And for final evaluation, this is what we're going to do to determine your level of cognition or proficiency with Google Drive. We're going to create a lesson plan using the Google Suite. You will share with your teammates, and you're going to be posting the information from this, giving view-only access to this group, all right? So let's be more specific, because I know this is what you saw, so let me give you some more details. You will create a lesson plan on a topic you will be teaching in your class together based on your subject area or department. So this is where you may change groups now because you're going to be working based on a specific lesson. It should be completed using 2 or more of the Google suites of products and Google Drive. So technically 3. Each person is responsible for typing and explaining each part of the lesson as well as the supporting documents needed. The main parts to be included in the lesson are the objectives, the content and how it will be taught, the materials and activities you will be using in this lesson, a review and a closure activity. I need for you to close this activity nicely, and an assessment, both a formative type and a summative that will be going on throughout the process. And once the lesson plan is complete, notify me via email and send a link of your Google Drive for me to view with editing privilege, then post to the class for all to view without editing privileges. If you have any questions while completing this assignment, please don't hesitate to contact me, okay? Are there any questions? Okay, now that we're at the end, I have some additional resources I'd like for you to take a look at. The 2 videos were created and uploaded to YouTube when they first launched Google Drive. So it is a good little tutorial and a review if you need some more information. The first URL has reading or literature information about Google Drive as well. And this is good information. It covers some of the same information discussed today and more. And the last one is a quiz of 20 multiple choice questions for you to review on everything Google. Please review these at your leisure, and remember, remember there are many other tutorials and resources on the web to assist you, all right? Thank you so much for viewing, and you have a great day. And if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. Looking forward to hearing from you all.